The book of Ecclesiastes, written by King Solomon, is a thought-provoking and insightful piece of literature that discusses the meaning of life, the value of wisdom, and the fleeting nature of material possessions. Ecclesiastes 1:12-2 and Ecclesiastes 2:4 provides a glimpse into the mind of King Solomon as he reflects on his life and experiences. In this passage, Solomon acknowledges his great wisdom and knowledge, yet he also recognizes that all of his achievements and possessions are ultimately meaningless. Solomon begins by stating that he was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and that he applied his heart to seek and search out wisdom concerning all that is done under the sky. He notes that this pursuit of wisdom is a heavy burden given to the sons of men to be afflicted with. Solomon then goes on to describe how he has seen all the works that are done under the sun, and that all is vanity, and a chasing after the wind. This phrase, a chasing after the wind, implies that the things that people pursue in life are ultimately futile and unattainable. Solomon goes on to say that which is crooked can't be made straight, and that which is lacking can't be counted. In other words, there are some things in life that can't be fixed, and there are some things that can't be measured. Solomon then states that he has obtained great wisdom above all who were before him in Jerusalem, and his heart has had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. He recognizes that in much wisdom there is much grief, and he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. In Ecclesiastes 2:1-4, Solomon speaks of his attempt to find fulfillment and pleasure in life. He tests himself with mirth and tries to enjoy pleasure, but he finds that this too is vanity. He then says that laughter is foolishness, and that mirth accomplishes nothing. Solomon searched in his heart how to cheer his flesh with wine, but his heart yet guided him with wisdom. He wanted to lay hold of folly to see what it was good for the sons of men that they should do under heaven all the days of their lives. He made himself great works, built himself houses, planted vineyards, gardens and parks, and had servants born in his house. He had great possessions of herds and flocks, above all who were before him in Jerusalem. He also gathered silver and gold for himself and the treasure of kings and of the provinces. He got himself male and female singers and musical instruments of all sorts. So, he was great and increased more than all who were before him in Jerusalem. His wisdom also remained with him, but in the end, all of these things were vanity. In Ecclesiastes 2:15, Solomon reflects on the value of wisdom. He turns to consider wisdom, madness and folly. For what can the king's successor do? Just that which has been done long ago. Solomon saw that wisdom excels folly, as far as light excels darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, and the fool walks in darkness. Yet Solomon perceived that one event happens to them all. Then he said in his heart, "As it happens to the fool, so will it happen even to me. And why was I then more wise?" He recognized that even the wise man will eventually die and be forgotten, just like the fool. In Ecclesiastes 2:17-26, Solomon expresses his frustration with life. He hated life because the work that is worked under the sun was grievous to him, for all is vanity and a chasing after the wind. He hated all his labor in which he labored under the sun because he must leave it to the man who comes after him. He wonders whether the man he leaves it to will even appreciate or value it. He questions the purpose of all his toil and concludes that it is ultimately vain and leads to grief and sorrow. However, he also finds some solace in the simple pleasures of life, such as enjoying good food and drink, and acknowledges that wisdom, knowledge and joy come from God. The passage emphasizes the idea that life is temporary, and that it is important to find meaning and fulfillment in the present moment.